There are a handful of psychological laws that quietly run the world. They decide who gets obeyed and who gets ignored, who gets trusted and who gets doubted, who walks into a room and takes it over without raising their voice, and who gets overlooked no matter how hard they try. Most people never learn these laws. They go through their entire lives being moved by forces they can't see, persuaded, pressured, and managed by people who understood the rules they didn't. But the powerful know them. Every great leader, every master negotiator, every figure who bent history did so by using the same small set of psychological levers. Over and over, across different centuries and different countries, the same laws appear. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to give you 7 of them. Not so you can manipulate people, but so you can finally see the game being played around you and stop being a piece in someone else's. Law number 4 is the one being used on you most often, and you've probably never noticed it. Law 1. People don't decide. They copy. When humans don't know what to do, they look at what everyone else is doing, and they follow. This is social proof, and it's one of the oldest survival instincts in the brain. If the herd is running, you run first and ask why later. The powerful have always understood this. A leader who appears to already have followers attracts more followers. A product that appears popular becomes more popular. The appearance of consensus creates real consensus. This is why the first move of anyone seeking influence is to manufacture the look of support. Crowds, endorsements, the sense that everyone already agrees. People rarely evaluate the idea itself. They evaluate how many others seem to have accepted it. How to spot it. Whenever you feel pressure to agree simply because everyone already does, stop. Ask whether the idea is actually good, or whether you're just being shown a crowd. Real judgment evaluates the thing itself, not the size of the group around it. Law 2. People obey symbols, not substance. In one of the most famous psychology experiments ever conducted, ordinary people were willing to deliver what they believed were dangerous shocks to a stranger, simply because a man in a lab coat told them to. Not a weapon, not a threat. A lab coat. That's authority. Humans are wired to defer to perceived authority, and the disturbing part is how easily authority is faked. A title, a uniform, a confident tone, the right setting. These symbols trigger obedience before the brain ever evaluates whether the authority is real or earned. The powerful know that looking like an authority often matters more than being one. The costume does the work. How to spot it. Separate the symbol from the substance. Ask, is this person actually an expert, or do they just look the part? Real authority survives that question. Fake authority collapses the moment you ask it. Those first 2 are everywhere once you see them. But the next law is darker, because it doesn't push you towards something. It works by taking something away. Law 3. People want what they might not be able to have. The fastest way to make something more desirable isn't to praise it. It's to make it scarce. Limited time. Limited supply. Only a few left. The moment something feels like it might slip away, the brain's value system lights up, and we want it far more than we did a second ago. This is scarcity, and it's one of the most weaponized levers in existence. The powerful create artificial scarcity constantly, of products, of opportunities, of their own attention. The person who seems hard to reach becomes more desirable. The opportunity that won't last feels more valuable. Scarcity hijacks judgment and replaces it with urgency. And urgency is the enemy of good decisions. Every high-pressure tactic ever invented runs on this. Make you feel you must act now, before you've had time to think clearly. How to spot it. Whenever you feel rushed, that's the signal. Real opportunities survive a night's sleep. Manufactured ones are designed to die if you think. When someone pushes urgency, slow down on purpose. That alone breaks the spell. Law 4. A gift creates a debt. This is the one being used on you most often, and the one you're least likely to notice. When someone gives you something, a favor, a compliment, a gift, a concession, you feel an automatic, almost physical pull to give something back. This is reciprocity, and it's so deeply wired that it operates below conscious thought. We are profoundly uncomfortable feeling indebted. The powerful and the persuasive use this constantly. The free sample that makes you feel obligated to buy. The unexpected favor that makes it hard to say no later. The small concession in a negotiation that pressures you to concede in return. Give first, and you control what happens next, because the other person now feels they owe you. The dark version. People give specifically to create debt. The gift was never generosity. It was a setup. How to spot it. When someone does you an unexpected favor and then makes a request, pause. Ask whether you'd say yes if the favor had never happened. A real gift comes with no invisible invoice. If saying no makes you feel guilty rather than just disappointed, you're inside a reciprocity trap. 4 laws down. The last 3 are the most advanced, because they don't just influence a single decision. They shape how people see you over time. And the final one is how reputations and entire movements are actually built. Law 5. People become what they commit to. Once a person takes a small public stance, they feel intense pressure to stay consistent with it. Get someone to agree to something tiny, and they'll later agree to something much larger, simply to avoid contradicting themselves. The brain treats inconsistency as a threat to identity. The powerful use this as a ladder. They never ask for the big commitment first. They ask for a small yes, then a slightly bigger one, then another. And each step locks the person in further. By the end, the person defends a position they never would have accepted if it had been offered all at once. How to spot it. Notice when you're doing something only because you already started. Be willing to break consistency when the situation changes. Past commitments shouldn't control present judgment, and the powerful are counting on the fact that, for most people, they do. Law 6. People are persuaded by those who feel like them. We trust, like, and say yes to people who feel similar to us. Similar mannerisms, similar speech, similar values. This is the liking principle, and skilled influencers exploit it through mirroring, subtly matching your posture, your pace, your language, until you feel an inexplicable sense of, this person gets me. That feeling of rapport lowers your defenses. We don't scrutinize people we like. We give them the benefit of the doubt, which is exactly why manufactured similarity is such a powerful tool. It turns off the part of your judgment that should stay on. How to spot it. When you feel an unusually fast, strong connection to someone you just met, stay slightly alert. Real rapport builds over time. Instant, intense, we're so alike can be genuine, or it can be a technique. Judge people by their actions over time, not by how similar they feel in the first 10 minutes. Law 7. Perception beats reality. This is the law underneath all the others. People do not respond to who you are. They respond to who they believe you are. Reputation, image, the story that travels ahead of you. These shape how people treat you long before you say a word. The powerful manage perception deliberately. They understand that controlling the narrative about themselves is often more important than the underlying truth. The image does the work in rooms they're not even in. How to spot it. And here's where all 7 come together. Once you know these laws, you stop reacting to surfaces. You see the manufactured crowd instead of feeling the pull to join it. You question the lab coat. You slow down when urgency hits. You notice the gift with strings, the slow ladder of commitments, the too fast rapport, the carefully managed image. And here's the ethical core of all of this. The purpose of learning these laws is not to manipulate people. It's the opposite. The person who can see the levers can't be moved by them. Knowledge of manipulation is the single best defense against it. Use these to protect yourself. Use them to make cleaner decisions. And if you ever use them on others, use them to lead and persuade honestly, never to deceive. 7 laws. They've been running the world the entire time. Most people will be moved by them their whole lives without ever seeing them. You just saw them. Now you can't be played the same way again.